The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Israelite slaves were often referred to as fugitives when they escaped from their enslavers. The term fugitive generally means someone who is fleeing from custody or authority, and in the context of slavery, it referred to enslaved individuals who ran away from the plantations, farms, or households where they were forced to work and live without freedom.
Then there was that thing Wes said about slavery.
When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all?
Deuteronomy 28:25 in the Bible prophesy that God reveals to his disciples the Deuteronomy curse, unveiling past, present, and future calamities for the lost tribes of Israel. The verse begins with a warning that the Israelites will be defeated by their enemies, no matter where they flee. The curse will follow. This is a direct consequence of their disobedience to God's commandments. The Lord will bring a nation against you from far away, from the ends of the earth, like an eagle swooping down, a nation whose language you will not understand. Deuteronomy 28:25, within its context, does indeed imply a sense of being a fugitive on the run. The Lord will bring a nation against you from far away, from the ends of the earth, like an eagle swooping down, a nation whose language you will not understand. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them. The Lord will cause you to be smitten before your enemies. You shall go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them. This use of metaphor that reveals a chaotic retreat to illustrate the total defeat and disarray that will befall the Israelites if they do not follow God's commandments. PBS documentary called The African Americans, Many Rivers to Cross with Henry Louis Gates, Jr. In this video, Professor Gates travels to Africa in search of African Hamite tribes that sold slaves. It is important to note that 1 million Shemitic black Hebrews fled into the interior coast of Africa as refugees from the Romans in 70 AD. Students, please pay attention to this scene from the TV series called Roots, a reboot film from 2016. In this scene, you will see the enemies of God described in Deuteronomy 28:68. You will witness a reenactment featuring the black Arab, white colonizer, and African slave trader negotiating the shipment of black Hebrew tribes they have captured.
3 crates of muskets.
That's twice their word.
These men are warriors.
2 crates, no more. Restrain him! Take him down for God's sake! Oh, bring him forward! Get it!
Africa. Sierra Leone was once a major hub for the slave trade. More than 300,000 people were taken from here and shipped to the New World in bondage. But the first slave traders in this place weren't Europeans. They were other black Africans. Africans practiced slavery long before they ever saw a white person. All across this continent, slaves were part of a system based not on race, but on ethnic difference and brute power. A system involving an enormous array of monarchs, merchants, and mercenaries.
African kingdoms were at war with one another. War was a theme in Africa and actually Europe as well for many, many years. And so as a part of these wars, as a result of these wars, people were taken hostage and made into slaves.
I've come to Port Loko, a river town in Sierra Leone, and the long-standing home of the Temne people. For centuries, the Temne here collected captives who had been taken in wars. They tied them, packed them into small boats, and sailed them downstream, where they were sold to Europeans for profit. We sometimes romanticize Africa. We think that Africa was idyllic until the white man came. But there were deep tensions between ethnic groups here. Black Africans didn't necessarily feel the bonds of skin color any more strongly than, say, white Europeans did.
Slavery was ongoing before the Europeans came. It was just a common business. They come here in this wharf. Here is the landing part for the boats.
Who were the slave traders?
The slave traders were great warriors, strong men, chiefs. They do this business.
A lot of misery loaded on these boats.
Yes, but our people, we are not thinking about misery. It was a lucrative business.
Mm-hmm. Assalamu alaikum.
Professor Gates.
I was surprised to find out that in Port Loko today, there are still many families whose ancestors profited from the trade. And some of them were willing to tell me about it. Good. Just speak from your heart. Did any of you receive wealth inherited from the slave trade?
More fee, not an no 500 slaves.
500?
500.
My God, so he was very rich.
Yes, yes, our people we are rich. Until the road account of Karam then people saw ban or anti a room bomb.
Would chiefs wage war just to get slaves?
Oh yes.
Pinkar mabir mabang ka ambayang. Tala prats fino ete on e fino car
In America, we think black men were selling black people to the white man. But when you see it, do you see it as Temne were buying loco, Mende were buying Temne, etc.? Is there a difference?
Well,
Were all black people black?
Only BB.
It's true that black people are black.
So for certain thing,
We don't speak the same language.
Saba ay lingati.
I don't like what you like.
Mas for certain thing is puebo manen.
You know, we don't just live in harmony.
Though some find it difficult to face, the crucial role of Africans in the slave trade is now well documented. Historians estimate that the overwhelming majority of the slaves shipped to the New World were captured and sold by African kingdoms.
Peace be upon you, brother. And upon you. You look familiar. Yes. I think I have seen you. You are the boy of Amore Kinte.
You speak Mandinka. You're not one of us.
I speak many languages. How else can a man make a living here on the Kambi Bolongo?
Go home, girl. Quickly, or I will beat you.
Each time your family pay for all the trouble they have caused me, Kunta. Come peacefully. The ransom negotiations should not take long. Then you can go free.
Go free. I am free.
Run! Tell my father! Shoot her! How long must I endure your family? There will be no ransom. Sell the boy to the English with the other captives. Take as many of his friends as you can. I want Omoro Kinte to feel what I feel.
Joel 3, verse 1 to 6 is a passage from the book of Joel in the Hebrew Bible, or Old Testament. This section of Scripture contains prophecy and imagery about the restoration and judgment that God will bring in the future. Here's a breakdown of these verses. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. This verse speaks about a future time when God promises to restore the fortunes of Judah and Jerusalem. This is often interpreted as a prophecy about the restoration of Israelites from captivity and into glorious and divine kingdom that will rule the earth forever under Christ. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. God declares, that he will gather the nations for judgment in the valley of Jehoshaphat. This judgment is on behalf of his people, Israel, for the wrongs they have suffered, including being scattered among the nations and the division of their land. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. This verse describes the mistreatment and dehumanization of God's people by others, indicating severe injustices like slavery and human trafficking black children. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. Here, God addresses the heathen nations of Tyre, Sidon, and Philistia, ancient nations known for their enmity with Israel. The verse suggests that if these nations are acting against God's people as a form of retaliation, God will swiftly bring their actions back upon them. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. This verse accuses these nations of plundering the wealth and sacred items of Israel and taking them into their own temples. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. It is noted that these nations have participated in the slave trade, selling the people of Judah and Jerusalem to the Greeks, which represents the Caucasian race effectively exiling them from their homeland since 70 AD. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. The imagery here is of a scattered, disorderly retreat from slave catchers. This indicates not just a tactical withdrawal, but a frantic escape. Fleeing in multiple directions suggests a desperate attempt to evade capture or harm, akin to the behavior of fugitives, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. The final part of the verse, and shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth, implies a scattering or dispersal of the Israelites across various foreign nations. This would result in a loss of their homeland and national identity, which were central to their covenantal relationship with God.